Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome to lesson 17 of the MyListing course, Recreating the Canvas Starter Site. In this lesson, we're going to finally get into building those listing types out in their entirety, and we'll look at how the single listings look once that's done. We'll look at the Explore page, how that then looks, and so on and so forth. As a quick recap from the previous lesson, lesson 16, we looked at all of the MyListing add-ons that are included with this starter site and all starter sites, as well as the third-party add-ons for things like booking and Google reviews and things like that. Some of which are completely free, some of which are paid solutions, but I walk through exactly which ones are needed to replicate the site. Okay, so specifically on the agenda for this video, for the lesson in this video, so we're first going to export and import listing types. I've already done that for all of the listing types except for one. I left one because I want to show you the exact process that you could take yourself if you want to learn how to do it. It's super, super simple. We're then going to finish building out the expert listing type because that's the listing type we're focusing on for this course, and then finishing up our global listing type. All right, so that's it. Let's go ahead and dive in. So as a recap and to show where we are now, we start with the worksheets, the 4 worksheets. There's 4 worksheets at this time. Maybe that's all there will ever be. Who knows? But you start with the listing taxonomies. You build those out. So let's look at the expert tab. You build out all of your taxonomies. You know, obviously the top level is the listing type. Then you've got your categories. Then you've got your region, child regions, tags, custom taxonomies, so on and so forth, right? So you build out that worksheet. You then move over to the listing packages worksheet, all right? And then within there, you lay out how much is, the cost of each of your packages and whatnot. And I'm not sure why that's coming up blank. There we go. It scared me for a second. I'm like, total brain fart there, but that should have, okay, yeah, that's just a total brain fart. The demo is what we want to look at. God, it scared me for a second. But this is all of your, the exact packages that we use for Canvas. You build all those out, right? And you get those ready to go. Once you do that, you get all of your listing fields ready to go. This is the expert demo here. So we've got all of that ready to go. Now that we have all of this information ready to go, we're then ready to work on this worksheet, which is the listing types worksheet, all right? And we're gonna work from this row right here, the expert demo row, to build this out, all right? Let me quickly do this export and import of a listing type just so you can see how it's done. So all you need to do is create a new listing type. We're going to call it business, which is the same name as the listing type, one of the listing types on the Canvas site. All right, just give it the same name, click publish. And if you're trying to recreate portions of this starter site, then this is something you might want to do. So you can download the whatever listing type you're interested in from the club website, and then just, like I did here, just name it, give it the same name, and then click this import config file button here on the right hand side. Find that download, choose OK to go ahead and overwrite what's in there, and that's it. Click update and you're good to go. We now have that business listing type in there, completely ready to go. So that's what I've done here for restaurant, event, lodging, park, hike, before I hit record here. So you didn't miss anything really, because I showed you how to do it. All right. So now we have all of the listing types that are included. I believe, let me make sure. Yeah, all of the listing types that are included with Canvas. Make sure I didn't miss any. So we're good to go there. So now, again, the focus is the expert listing type. Let's build this out together. Okay. So let me pull this up here on my other screen. So we've got that pulled up. We've got our icon that we already set, our singular name, our plural name. All of that looks good. Let's jump over to the packages. Because we're using package visibility again, we need to specify those packages here. Otherwise, they would appear over here just listed on the right-hand side. They would, they would apply globally to all of your listing types. But as soon as you need to differentiate which listing types get which packages, or if you want to do package visibility and that sort of thing, then you need to drag them from right to left and move them over here as we have done. Okay, I've got other videos on all about that, so we're not going to go any further into that. Claim form, this is if you want to do something special on your claim form. Totally up to you there. We're not doing that with this starter site. We're just leaving the default claim form as is. Reviews, we are going to allow people to attach gallery images to their reviews. Star ratings, we're going to leave that as default. We're going to allow half stars, which is the default. We are not going to allow author reviews. So allow author of current listing to comment or review. We're going to turn that off there so they can't write their own reviews. Over for the category, so this is how people are going to rate the reviews. So we're going to change the wording for this one. We're going to change this just to overall. So overall rating, that's the top there. And then next we're going to do professionalism, because we're talking about experts again. So we're going to add a new category, professionalism. We're going to add another category, and this isn't required. If you're building a MyListing website from scratch, this isn't a requirement. This is just how it was done with Canvas to further categorize how things are reviewed. Next one is communication, and we're going to stop with those three. All right, let's move over to the expiry rules. We are going to leave this exactly as is. Okay. Moving over to schema, we're not going to get involved at all with schema. That is a more advanced topic, and honestly, unless you have unless you are doing, how do I word this? Unless you are really at a stage when you're like really ready to nail SEO and you're really to dig into the trenches and get into things like schema markup, then you would dive into this area. This can't be a part of a starter site because it just can't be. This requires above and beyond that. So skipping that. Over in the other tab, we're just going to leave the defaults. This is not a global listing type. I'm not going to prevent listing slugs from changing when you edit the listing title until you find a good reason for you to do that. I'm not going to dictate that on this particular starter site. Moving over here to the right, let's go ahead and save our changes on that tab, general tab there. Moving over here to the right, we want to set a default logo to be used across this listing type for every listing when a logo is not specified. All right, so let's copy this from the other starter site from Canvas. So let me just grab that image. And I am grabbing that single listings. I'm going to do a search for default. All right, so I'm just going to save a couple of these. I'm going to save the default cover image, which I'm downloading now, and I'm going to I'm going to download the default listing logo, and we'll go ahead and download that too. Okay, so I've got my images there. So let's go ahead and assign our default logo. And if you get the Canvas site, I give you the exact, the placeholder images with the exact, you see here, I give you the exact dimensions that you need for your images, for your own placeholders. We're also going to go ahead and bring in the default map markers. So this is, as it says here, this image will be used as the default map marker if listing logo is not present. So this is on, when you look at the Explorer page and you see the image next to the listing, that's what will appear instead of the logo if no logo is specified. Okay, and then lastly, a default cover image. Same thing, if a cover image is not specified, then we're going to go ahead and add one with our branding, which in this case is a placeholder image that I give you the dimensions for. All good there. All right, so we've got our default images set up. shifting back over to the listing types worksheet, you see here that we are currently working in the general tab. So we're just working from left to right through here. And you see the first one here, default logo, default map marker, and default cover. So if I was working with a client, then I would have them give me a link to their image for me to pull in for them. All right, and we would work together to make that happen. I've already showed you the icon. It's that graduate icon. We're going to enable paid listings. All of our packages are in there. We're going to enable reviews. Yeah, gallery upload, actually, I'm gonna go back here. Not that it really matters. I just want to do apples to apples. I actually did not allow this here. I just went with the default. So let me make sure. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna do that. You just gotta be sure that you want that, because obviously that takes up more storage on your server. Do you really need people to be able to upload image galleries when they do their reviews? I would think that's not really going to be used that often. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I just haven't seen it really used that much in the wild, but I guess maybe if someone wants to show a review of their experience, like you go to an event or something like that, I guess you could say, hey, like, this is my review. This is what some of the images I took. I guess I could see that being useful then, but I don't want to make that decision here. So we'll just go ahead and leave that blank. So moving left to right, reviews. Yeah, we're enabling star ratings. We're doing half stars. Again, just moving left to right. We're not allowing author reviews. We've got our review rating categories in there. We're not doing the slug updates, and this is not a global listing type. So we're now moving over to the fields tab, which this just says, hey, go over like you were supposed to complete the fields worksheet. The worksheets are done in order, okay? So let's assume those fields are done, which they are. We then move over to the single page tab of the expert listing type, okay? So we've got everything here. We'll get into that later. I'm just talking out loud here. All right, so like I said, we've done the fields. Those are all set. And now we're over on single page from our listing types worksheet. Again, left to right. Cover style is none. And the reason why I wanted to cover this particular listing type for a few reasons is it's got a unique setup. Okay, it's something that people have been asking me for a long time, to set up a listing type that focuses on a person. Okay, so cover type is none, and then cover detail. Let's just go one by one. Cover style is none. Cover details and calls to action. We're going to do claim listing, price range, and a custom action. So cover details. Okay, let's go back. I'm going to do a lot of back and forth here because I got to show you guys all of this. So again, cover details and calls to action, claim listing, and price range. So claim listing, and let me make sure what I named this. I think, yeah. So I just went ahead and gave this all caps because it's going to kind of look like a button. I could have used CSS for this, but I just went ahead and did all caps for that. And we're going to go ahead and enable tracking so that the listing owner knows, hey, people have been, or for you as well, the website owner to know people have been clicking on that. Not exactly stats for both people or just one entity. It just depends who it's important to. We're going to change the icon to a checkbox. That one right there. And like I said, the other one was price range and then a custom action. So let's go ahead and put price range up here in the top area under our active details. So price. We actually did, I did custom. So custom detail. I called this price range. The field I used was the price range field. And everything else we're going to leave blank. Down here, the next one we did was that custom action, and it was offers. So we're going to change the name of the label to offers, again, all caps, just so I don't have to use CSS. And then we're going to change the icon to tags, kind of like price tags. There we go. and link to. We're going to put in hashtag and then offers. And this is going to be, if you're not familiar with link anchors, this is how you make it anchored. So you use hashtag and then the word. So that's what we're going to do. And you'll see that come to fruition here in a bit. We're not going to open that in a new tab. We want it just to stay within the listing itself and open it within the listing, which is going to open a tab in the listing instead of a new browser tab. But we'll get to that in a bit. And we're going to enable leave tracking on for that as well. Okay, so that satisfies our cover details and calls to action. For our quick actions, we're going to jump over to the quick actions area. We're going to add call, leave review. So call now, leave review, bookmark, and then website, bookmark, and then website, report and share. So report and then share. All right. And then in order, I did website. And for this, I did a cloud icon. Do whatever you want, obviously. Oh, you know what? I forgot. We're not using the built-in website. If you watch my video on the listing fields, you'll see how I approach the website URLs. Okay, so we're not using the one that's built in. We're doing a custom action here. Okay, so the custom action, cloud icon, called website, and we are pulling in a link. So we're going to say link to. This is where the magic of that listing, that custom listing field. Watch that video and you'll see what I mean. This is where the magic comes in. We're not asking the listing owner to put https:// in there. We're just saying, hey, just put your raw domain. And this is why, because we're going to prepend https:// and then we're going to use the MyListing shortcode for that field. So we're just going to do left bracket, and then start typing website. There we go. And that's going to bring in our custom website field. You know what I wanted to do here? Let's go ahead and update this. You'll get to look at it actually in this video because there's something I want to change. So let's go back to the fields, contact, website, and I want to give this a custom key, a key of website custom, just so there's no key confusion. You know, this is a kind of a geeky thing, but the keys need to be unique as far as, you know, the WordPress, the website, MyListing goes. The keys need to be unique or it can cause problems. So I like to put website-custom as the key. All right, so now let's go back. Single page, quick actions. Let's go to that website quick action and let's adjust that shortcode. There we go. So now it's what we want. Website and then custom. We want to open websites that link to external websites. We always want to open those in a new tab. And we're going to go ahead and keep enable tracking on that. Next up is call. So I'm going to strip out the word call, the word now. I'm going to change the icon to a mobile phone. Just something more modern here. There we go. And we'll keep tracking on. Next up is bookmark. I'm just going to call this save instead of bookmark. We'll leave that heart icon, and then so this is just the label that they're going to see, the list, you know, the users of your website when they're viewing the listing. If they want to bookmark it, they'll just click save. Once they've saved the bookmark, it'll change. This is how we define what word it's going to show. So we want to say, hey, let's show it that it's saved. So that's called the active label, right? We will leave tracking turned on. Let's move now to share. And icon is fine. Everything is fine there. So we're good there. Next up is review. So we're going to just change leave a review to review. You notice how I'm doing all one word here, just keeping it nice and simple. Every action is just one word rather than these multiple words. All right, everything is good there. The icon and the tracking. Last up is report. And that is, we don't really, we'll leave tracking on. That is not as a critical one for analytics, but we'll go ahead and just leave it on. Okay, let's save our changes there. So that's the quick actions. which satisfies this column right here. We are now moving over to content and tabs. So this is where stuff really gets juicier and juicier. All right, so single page, content and tabs. We need to build out, let's pull up the website on the front end. Let's pull up this expert listing. We now need to build out how, the tabs in here, the data, the blocks that we're showing, because right now it's just, a blank slate. So we need to build that. All right. What we've done so far is here's some of our cover information. And then this is the quick actions we just worked on right here. The styling and everything will come into fruition here in a bit. Actually, you know what we can do? We can actually take care of that right now because we're going to need to do it anyway. So let's go to WP Codebox. Let's go into our code snippets. We're going to go into our light mode folder. And yeah, we don't have the listing CSS package in there. So let's go ahead and add that. And we call this, as you might guess, maybe not, single listing light mode. So a new snippet, single listing light mode. It is a type of a snippet is CSS. We're going to load this in the front end footer so it doesn't conflict with my listing and we're sure that it's going to take hold. We want to open the conditions builder. It's one of my favorite features, a WP Codebox, add a condition. We're only going to apply the CSS if the current post type is job listing, which in other words, listing. Save our changes there. And now let's actually add the code. Obviously available through the club website if you just want to grab this to style your listings. Okay, now let's refresh and you will see this start to look even better. There we go. Cool stuff, right? At least I think so. So here's a really cool feature. So a couple of things to note. You saw that there's a background image here. There's styling. This is a really lightweight image that was added to these. Rather than just showing a plain black background. That's what I hear most often is, how can we style these things up so it just doesn't look so bland. So that's how that was done. It was done with CSS and a very lightweight image. Okay. Now another really cool feature is tooltips, and you can get a lot of this stuff as individual CSS packages if you don't want the entire CSS package for the listing type or the listings. You'll see here when I hover over these, the quick actions that, by the way, you see the labels are missing. That's to give it more of a modern design. And now when they hover over these, they get a tooltip. So I just think that's really, really cool. I was really proud to make that happen. Okay, so we need to put in, like I said, our content and tabs. I'm pulling this up over on Canvas. And our first one, there's just a lot to go here, okay? First one here is profile tab, all right? So let's click on this profile and add that in. In Canvas, I called this tab details. So that's what we want to put for the label. And we're gonna do a 2-column for all of these, just to keep everything nice and simple across the board. Just do 2 columns, okay? And as we work through this, we see here that the first profile tab, we call it details, and 2 columns. We keep working through this, all right? The reviews tab, what's that called? It's called reviews, okay? So you just keep going, you go back to your tabs, reviews, it's called reviews. You don't want it to be called, the label to be called new page, you want it to be called reviews, right? Okay, so I think you've got the idea. I'm gonna quickly populate the tabs off of my other screen from Canvas, and I'll let you know if there's something important to mention when we get to that point. I want to create another tab called Media. It's just going to be faster to do this than me going through, every single step of the way of the worksheet. I think you get the idea of how thorough these worksheets are. If you hover over the information, look at how much information is in there. There's tons in there to guide you the whole way. All right. All right. For the media, we did 1/3, 2/3. So I lied. They're not all 2 columns. We got 1/3, 2/3 for this. So that's our media tab. What else do we have? We have an offers tab. So this is going to be a custom tab. The label is offers. And for this one, this is a single column. So yeah, I was wrong. We're definitely not doing 2 columns across the board. Here we go. Okay, offers is going to be under media. Next up is store. This is going to be for pulling in those WooCommerce product vendors, that whole setup, doing the multi-vendor store within the listings. Okay, we'll call this store. And we're going to hide this tab if the listing owner has not added products to their listing. Okay, don't want to show an empty tab. That's no good. We're going to display products from the field products. So display products that we specify from the products field. Okay, we're going to drag that up under offers. So we got offers, store, reviews, and last up is our related listings. Put in a label of related listings. And we're going to hide this tab as well. If there are no related listings, don't show an empty tab. Let's just hide it. Okay, and then we're going to pull from our related listings field. And you can have on your website, you can have multiple related listings tabs if you want to separate them out. This is just going to pull in all of the related listings into one tab. Okay, so those are in there. Let's go ahead and update to save our changes. Let's go back into our content and tabs. And let's fill this in. Again, I'm going to work from my other screen just because this is going to save us time. If this was me building for myself or for a client, I would have 1000%, I would have this pulled up, the listing types worksheet on one screen. I would have this pulled up on another, and I would just be flying through them, making sure that I don't miss anything, entering all of the data that's given, that's either I inputted or the client gave me by filling out these worksheets, okay? But just for the sake of time, in this video, I'm just gonna use my other screen, pulling directly from how I see it over in Canvas, all right? And if something is really important, I will explain it. All right, so let's go into the details tab and build this out. First up is a text field, and that's going to be what we're going to use for our description, okay? So text, and then we're going to call this bio. And we're going to use the field bio. This is pulling from the description field. We're going to hide all of the icons. I like to run a clean show here, so I like to remove these. You don't have to, but we can hide it with CSS anyway. I do want to put a custom block ID in here of highlighted text block. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's do a search for that so you can see what that's all about. Let's go into WP Codebox, another awesome feature of WP Codebox. You can search for a term, and you can search through all of your code snippets at once. So I'm going to punch this in, and it's going to tell you exactly which code snippet it appears in. So, okay, so we know it's in this one, which makes sense. It should be coming from the single listings CSS package, right? I'm going to do another search within the actual snippet for that word, highlighted text block. Here we go. So what is this actually doing? We are applying a background of our canvas gray color. So you can change this to be whatever color you want. So we're saying in our bio block, let's put a light gray background behind that, okay? So that's why that is there. Next up, we're going to do another text box called Education and Training. And this is going to pull from, you guessed it, the Education and Training field. And I'm going to go ahead and remove that icon. All right, moving down, we need to put some custom code in there. So we're going to add, all right, so we're going to add some custom code in here. Like I said, I'm just going to drop in the short code block, and I'm going to clear out the label. And the reason is because what we're going to embed in here, because of what we're embedding, we don't need a label. It's just going to be self-explanatory, which in this case is going to be our embed social Google reviews for the actual listings, not just for the website. All right, so we punch that in there. That's our embed code. Got to remove the icon. I'm going to add a custom block ID of embed social, and let's go ahead and find out what that's doing. So I'm just going to search through my CSS here, and we are saying for that container, we're going to just eliminate all of the padding. So that's what we're saying here, padding 0. You just got to trust me on that it was done for good reason. We're just getting rid of all the padding. So that's why that is done that way. And if you download this listing type from the club, you know, you're going to get what you're seeing here, but you need to pull it all together, and you need the CSS package, you need in the listing type to make this happen. So you need both of those elements. And if you look at the build notes of Canvas, I tell you exactly what you need, you know, to replicate this, but you're also getting that right here in the video. Next up is we need to put some terms in there. We're going to put our services in. So let's drop the terms block. Let's call this label of services. Our taxonomy is going to be our CT services. We're going to use outlined icons, disable links. Yes. Go ahead and remove this icon. I can't remember. Maybe I didn't use CSS to remove the icons. Maybe I just removed them all so we didn't have to do that. All right, terms block. We're going to add terms block in the block ID. So let's do a search and see what that's doing. So for that, we are saying display the terms at 50%. So what you're able to do there is show two terms side by side, so 1 and 2, one column and then one in the other column. And then we're also applying a background to the icon of our canvas gray. And what else? One more thing that's doing, it's adjusting the font size of the link. All right, making it a little bit smaller than our body font size, just so it fits in there nicely. Okay, so we need to add that. And then we've got a class of colored icons. Let's see what that's doing. Colored icons, that is saying, hey, for the actual icon color, which is going to sit on our gray background, let's make it our accent color. So whatever you do, like if you're a starter site customer, whatever you set as your accent color, that's going to be the color of your icon in this block. Okay, and if you are a customer that's just downloaded the CSS package, that's how that's going to apply. Okay, so that is that. Moving on, another terms block. This time it's going to be, we're going to call this features, and this is going to pull from our tags. And again, outlined icons, no link, or disable links, yes, remove the icon. And this time we only want the terms block ID. We're not styling the icon. We're not doing the same class in this one because we want our terms, our features to be displayed a little bit differently, just to give a little flavor. So we don't want the identical styling there. Next up is we want to display the contact information. And for that, we're going to use the table block. We're going to call this contact. We're going to remove the icon. We're going to add a new row. So start adding our fields in here, our contact fields. All right, for the first one, we're going to call it email for the label. I'm just going to paste this in and then I'll explain it. So what this is doing is it's turning whatever the listing owner added to the email field, it's turning it into a link. Okay, and you see whenever it lights up red, whatever this color is that MyListing uses, pink, whatever, whenever you see it light up that color, you know it's working. Okay, so again, we're using the email field, and we know that because of the short code here. All right, so if we go back to our fields and we find that contact email, here's the name of our field that it's pulling from. All right, so that's how that works. But again, we're turning the email link into, or the email address into a link. That's what that's doing. All right, let's add a new row. And it's the same principle all the way down here, okay, for all of these. So we're gonna do phone number, same thing. We're gonna pull from the phone field and we're gonna light it up and turn it into a link. Let's add another row. This one's gonna be our website. Let's pull from that website field and light that up and turn it into a link. Next, our last one here is going to be address. So let's add a new row, address. And in this one, we're taking the location field and we're automatically turning it in, like we're injecting the Google Maps and showing exactly where that address is on a map. So turning that into a link. Okay, next up is, let's see if we have anything else in this, and that is it. So that's it for the left-hand side. I'm gonna go ahead and save this just because I get nervous and I don't wanna have to redo everything again. So let's go back into single page, content and tabs, detail tab, and let's build out this next column over here. First up is work experience. So this is gonna be another text block. Let's move that over to the right-hand side. Work experience, we're going to use the field, work experience. Let's remove the icon. And that is that for that one. Next up is another text block. And this one's going to be certifications. Use the field certifications. Move the icon. And that is that. And then next up is another code block. We're going to clear out the label again because we don't need it. It's self-explanatory what's happening here. This one is for our booking, and we're using cal.com, which I explained in the previous lesson. This is a free service for embedding a booking calendar. We're going to remove the icon. Check the build notes for Canvas if you have questions about any of this stuff that I'm doing. I need to do a video on cal.com. I just haven't gotten around to it. That will come eventually. We're going to put a block ID in here of cal booking block. So let's see what that does. Okay, this does a couple of things. It adds our accent as the background. We're doing a little bit of padding and adding a little bit of margin to the top. We're also removing some padding from the body area, and we're changing the display a little bit to inline grid. Okay, I'm not going to get into what all that is. You just got to trust me that it's for a good reason. So that's how that's done. Moving on, work hours. Here we go. Let's move that to the right. And we're going to expand this block by default. So we're going to show all of the work hours expanded by default so they don't have to, the listing viewer user doesn't have to do that themselves. We're going to remove the icon and we're going to add this block ID. Let's go check out what this does. This apparently does nothing right now. Work hours block. Let me do another search here. Okay, apparently I decided that doesn't do anything, so no worries. We'll just take that out. Okay, location. So we need to add the location block there. There we go. We're pulling from the address field. That's good. Our map skin is our Canvas map skin. I'm using Mapbox. I created a custom skin over in the Mapbox account, which is super simple to do. We're specifying that here. We're going to do a default zoom level on all of our maps to 8 for this particular site. We're going to remove the icon and we're going to do a custom block ID. Let's see what that does. Got one thing that this is doing here. We're adding a background. We're adding our accent color. We are text transforming the words so that they're uppercase. We're adding a font weight of 700. We're changing their color to canvas white and adding a border radius of 5 pixels. So that is that. And lastly is send email. So this is going to be another code block. called send email. And this is going to be for our Elementor Pro form. So let me go over here. I'll explain in a second. So what we're doing here, I'm just grabbing a template from Canvas. This is going to be the single listing contact form. Export. Let's go import this in. I'll say it one more time. All of the stuff is available for individual download from the club. I'll stop saying that. Okay, so we've imported that in. Now we just need to grab the short code that Elementor so kindly gives us, copy that. We're gonna go back to our listing type and paste that in right here. So we are calling that Elementor template into this block. And we are removing the icon. And I'm adding a custom block ID of contact form block. Let's go see what that does. We've got one thing that this is doing. We're adding to the form, we're going to add our canvas gray, our light gray color as a background, and do a little bit of top margin. Okay, so what is that we just did? I don't use Contact Form 7. I recommend you use Elementor Pro because then that unlocks a lot of doors for what you can do with styling, functionality. Just really opens a lot of doors. I've got a guide and a video and all kinds of stuff on how to make that happen. It's probably one of the most popular pieces of content and solutions I've ever created for the club. And so definitely check that out. Okay, let's go ahead and save our changes. And that is it for that block. All right, so let's just go see what we've done here. Okay, this is the before. And this is the after. Okay, so some things are missing here. We have to figure out why that is. Looking at the listing type, detail, why would some of that be missing? The only way that would be missing is if it's actually not in the listing. So let's go to our listing. And I'm just going to copy over the data from Canvas from this listing. So let me find it here. In short, we just need to fill in the data. That's what I'm trying to say here. All right, we've got our description. And we've got our tagline is in there. We've got our industry. Let's do our address. All right, that's good. Nearest major city, that is good. Products, do we have vendor products? We do, cool. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got our hours here. Let's go ahead and we'll just say open all day for the purposes. No, you know what, we'll do exactly as it did. Add hours, enter hours, add hours. We're gonna say from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we're going to say copy schedule to all other days. And then we're going to say all days and then click copy to selected days. So that's going to copy that all the way across. We're just going to confirm that that's what we wanted. Okay, so now when you toggle between the days, you'll see that 9 to 5 is set for all of those. That is cool. Time zone is pulling from the actual website itself. So under settings and then general, that's where that's pulling from. Adjust that accordingly. Google reviews. This is going to be the unique bit of code that I need for this listing to pull in my Google reviews. Again, guides, videos on the club for how this is done. Related listings, we're not going to fill that in. Yeah, we will. We'll just do a very generic one here. I'm going to add a new listing just so we can show that related listings tab, because otherwise it won't show. Call this expert 2. Otherwise that related listing field won't, or related listing tab in the listing won't show. We need something in there. All right, so that's done. Let me go ahead and save this listing. And let's go back. I don't know why our address didn't change or didn't save. There we go. Hopefully that saves this time. We've got our products in there, our work hours. Let's do that related listing. Not sure why that's not coming up. All right, let's go back and look at our listing type and make sure we've got that related listing field correctly configured. It does say all listings, but that's actually not going to work. Let's see what we want here. I think I asked the MyListing guys. It doesn't do what I thought that it was going to do. I thought you could just check all listings and it would just work all the way across. I can't remember what their answer was, but it just didn't work that way. So I'm just going to go in here and select everything except for WP Post and all listings for the purposes of this video, so we can continue on. All right, so I'm going to go back into this listing and we're going to choose that. All right, let's refresh again. Related listing, there we go. All right, so now we can choose that. Work experience. Figure out what that is. Work experience, work experience. Paste that in. Paste that in. Now, because we are using the part of the editor, or we're allowing a little bit of formatting here, we can now bold some of this stuff, italicize some of this stuff if we want. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick just so we can have an apples to apples comparison. There we go. Okay, certifications, punch that in. Bold the headings. Okay, services. Business and financial, business and financial. So we'll put all three of those in there. Features, accepts credit cards and does free estimates. On the actual listing on the Canvas site, there was a few more, but we're just going to choose these right here. Price range, we'll leave that as is. We don't need an email in here because we're okay with, if we don't specify an email, Elementor Pro is automatically, those forms, that form template we have in our listing is automatically going to send for us based on how that's configured. For that, we need to go into WP Codebox. And there is a snippet that we need. I'm going to go ahead and refresh the screen here. And I'm going to grab that snippet. 1 second. New snippet. Replace contact form 7 with Elementor Pro. Drop in the snippet, save it, enable it. Drop it into our PHP folder since it's a PHP code snippet. And that's gonna work now. So with the template we're using for Elementor Pro for a form and that code snippet, we are now automatically sending email without the need to actually specify an email address here. I covered that in the listing fields email of what that's all about. Okay, phone number. But you know what? I just remembered. I want to show you how that email is going to be output. So let's go ahead and put something in there. So we've got email, social networks. Start filling some of these in. We'll just do 3 of these. Okay, moving on down for the website. Again, we don't need to do anything other than put the actual, just the domain. For our consultation link, this is coming from our cal.com profile. Super simple. Just add that in like that. Gallery. Let's just add a few images that I know are the right size. Let's see here. for 1920 by 1080. All right, there's one right there. Let's roll with that one. Actually, you know what? Let's roll with that one. The gallery, and then bonus gallery, the same thing. We'll just do one image for now. See if that works for us. Okay, introduction video. I'm going to drop in a link from YouTube. For popular offers, I'm just going to do one here. Item name, item 1, price $25. We're going to give it a little description here. And something is missing. Like I should be able to give it up some more information. So let's go save this. Let's go over to our listing type and look at that field. So it's our offers field. Here we go. So I did allow link. Okay, so I need to update the worksheet. It's not really, I mean, it is important if you're following verbatim from that worksheet, but you'll figure it out. So here we go. Enable link. I'll update the worksheet. So enable link. That's what was missing there. Let's save that. I think there's something else that's missing. All right, let's go with that. Okay, so we should be able to put in, there we go. Okay, item 1, $25. This being able to put in a URL allows us to put a button label on the URL, which is shop offers, and we need a URL. So that's in there. We've got our item description. You can put an image in here. I'm just going to drop any image in here for the purposes of this video, and that is that. And then last up is the onboarding experience, which gets filled in by the actual listing owner when they go to add their listing. All right, now let's refresh and see what we've got here. There we go, much, much better. We've got our bio with that gray background, just to make it stand out. We've got our Google reviews embedded in there. That's all nice and pretty. Our unique design on our services, unique design on our features, aka tabs or tags. We've got links to all of our stuff here. Our phone number is missing a link here. It's linked, but the caller is not there, as you can see. So let me look at this on Canvas. See how it turned out. Yeah, that's in there. It could just be caching or something. Let's see here. Let's compare, make sure these are identical. Single listings. And let's see here. Just so we keep the same order. Let's put that there. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna clear the caching just to be sure. That did not take hold. That is very strange. That is very strange. That all looks good. That all looks good. That looks good. Let's go ahead and try making this an external file. We're just trying to jar this loose so I can show you what the actual design looks like. I'm not sure why that's not coming across. It's not a huge deal. I can guarantee you it works. It's just something. Here, I'll show you actually what this looks like. There you go. See how the phone number, everything should be lit up here. Everything should be a link. This is how the form will look. So it's just something going on with this particular site. It's probably caching or something. I could try clearing my the cache here just to see. Give this one more shot. If this doesn't work, you saw that it's working, so you just have to take my word for it. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. It's bothering me though. But anyway, you can see all the stuff in here. Book consultation. That is going to open the embedded cow form. That all looks great. That styling is all controlled on the cow.com side of things. This all looks great. This form has got a little bit of something going on, styling wise, it's missing. Let's just go ahead and show you what that template looks like. I did notice there was something going on with Elementor today. I don't know if that's, I don't know what's going on. Definitely a wonky. There we go. All right, so that loaded that time. That's what the template looks like, and because it's got a great background, this should actually pop more than it is right here. But it's not for some reason. It could also be the stubborn, the Elementor cache that you have to clear under tools. You could try that. Yeah, that didn't work either. All right, who knows? You just have to trust me on that. I showed you on Canvas, it is working fine. So that's the main thing. All of that is good. Okay, let's jump over to Media tab. The Media tab, so single page, content, and tabs. Now I'm going to start going a little bit faster now that you've seen me create that detail tab, just so we can get through this faster. Okay, so first up is our introduction video. So that is the video block. We are removing the icon because we just want that full video to display there. And I called this introduction video. And I did video block here. I'm not going to show you what this is doing. You get the idea. I mainly wanted to show you on that first tab how we find everything, how everything is set, how it's all built. But we don't need to get into the specifics for everything, okay? All right. Next up is social networks. I called that connect with us. We're doing outlined icons. We are removing the icon. We are doing a block ID for some styling and functionality and whatnot. Next up is our gallery field. We're going to clear the label. We just want to show the images. We don't need to show a label. It's pretty self-explanatory when you see a gallery what it is. Gallery with the image preview on that one. We're going to put an ID of gallery block. We're going to do another gallery field. Same thing, clear the label. This time we're using the bonus gallery field. And for this one, I think we're going to show it a little differently. Yes, we're going to show it as a grid and clear the icon. And we're going to do block ID on this one. And that is it for the media tab. Let's go ahead and check that out. So before and after. So we've got our video there. And obviously this will be a gallery of multiple images. Let me see if I can go ahead and add multiple images here just so you can see. Yeah, let's go with that. And then let's do it over here. All right, so we have a couple images in there so we can see how that's starting to look. There we go. Okay, and I'll quickly show you this on Canvas. There we go. We do have, for some reason, the social media is not showing up. So let's go back to our listing type first off and just make sure that we got that in there. Media, social networks. Yep, that is all good. Got it in there. Maybe I didn't save on this side. So let me make sure that I add some to the listing. Okay, that didn't stick, and I know why. It's because I didn't put a URL in there. I forgot. Okay, Instagram or Facebook. I'm just putting a hashtag in there so that my listing thinks there's a link, even though there's not. There we go. You would obviously want to put a real link in there. There we go. So then those have some really unique styling, some hover effects. Cool, cool, cool. We don't want that icon there for... So we missed removing that icon. And again, I could have done this with CSS, but it's just as easy just to remove those. An argument could be made. You want to make sure that they're removed. You just do a couple lines of CSS and just take care of it. So you make sure. So I could see that argument for sure. All right, so we've got our grid. We've got a different kind of style here for our gallery. That's all set. All right, so let's do offers. And this is going to be pulling from our general repeater field, and we're just going to do a single column because the layout is better. You've just got one thing that you're including in this tab, so you just need a single column. You don't need multiple columns. All right, so we're going to do general repeater. And we're going to call this popular offers. We're going to pull from that field popular offers. We're going to do a template of horizontal, so we're going to display our products horizontally, our offers horizontally. We're going to do 4 columns on desktop, 4 on tablet, 2 on mobile. Remove our icon. We've got a custom block ID on this one and a custom class on this one. This one is really special because if your offer goes to opens a new tab in a browser and it goes to an external website, you want to make sure that you're opening it in an external tab. So this is actually a special bit of code here. Let's actually look at this one. Let's see, where did I get that at here? Maybe I changed my mind on that one too. All right, we'll come back to that. The joy of doing this stuff live, sometimes you just realize you thought you did something and you changed your mind. I mean, it doesn't hurt anything that it's in there. I may have changed my mind on that one and found either another way to do it or found out it wasn't needed, or maybe MyListing came out with an update while I was working on this and it's no longer needed. I can't recall. But anyway, let's update that. Let's look at this on the front end. And now we see those offers take shape. Those are styled really nicely. Definitely the price is wrong here. We don't need that $sign after the fact. So let's look at that field. So this is the offers field, not the heading, the field. There we go. And let me double check my work here. I do not need to specify currency in there. It's just going to work. So let's update that. Refresh. There we go. All right, that all looks good. Shop offers. So that is actually wrong. I am blanking here on what I did. What did I do here? That's for those. That's for those. I know I opened a support ticket for this. I know what it is. It's a code snippet. All right, let me find that. It's not CSS. Here we go. Where is that? Yep. Okay. So let me add these. This is why we're doing this. Okay, I'm going to clear that out. I'm going to make sure we've got all of our snippets in here. All right, this new snippet is going to be of type JavaScript. And we're going to grab the code here, and here we go. So you'll see in the code, let's save it and enable it. This is where you saw the word X link new tab. Okay, so that is what is doing that magic. All right, there we go. So that was doing something. All right, let's go ahead and refresh. And now we'll see when I click on this shop offer link, it won't go to an external website and and take me away from my site. It'll open a new tab. There we go. All right, cool. That was bothering me. So we're good to go there. My dog is telling me it's time to quit this video. He's being so polite in doing that, but we're going to keep going. All right, let's do our store tab. We see that we've already got our products. We added those earlier when we were editing the listing, so those are now showing nicely. And as you see here, sold by Canvas, this will actually display the name of whoever the vendor is, in this case, the listing owner. So that's good. Reviews, we can go ahead and, I won't show you this one or go through the process. I'll just show you what this one looks like. This is what it's going to look like on the front end when a review is submitted and when somebody replies. Okay, next up, related listings. We set that, right? We set this one, and it's not styled up entirely, but this is what it would look like if it was. And that should just be, let's look at this. I think it's worth looking at. Let's go to that listing type, or that listing, the other listing we added. Let's put an image on there. We'll put the same image. So scroll down, here it is, headshot. This is the listing preview card headshot. So we'll just add that same image. Here we go, that one. And let's go ahead and give this person the same industry. And yeah, we'll see what that gets us. Update this. Refresh. There we go. So now you can see that styling is in there. Everything is working great. If we were to go in here and say, hey, this listing is, let's say featured, for example, let's say it's verified and things like that, then you're going to start to see the preview, the head buttons, they call them, preview card head buttons. You're going to start to see those populate there. There we go. So that's starting to come in. You get the idea here that this is all set up, ready to go. Okay, so let's go back here to our listing type. We've got all of our tabs set up, displaying the data. Under similar listings, we want to say they must belong, so we're just going with the defaults here, they must belong to the same listing type and they must share at least one category in common for them to appear right here. Okay. Everything else is default except for we're also doing package visibility. So this is something that it's a newer thing and it's often missed. It's very, very powerful. So what you can say is if you purchase a specific listing package, spend more money with me, I'm going to hide your competitors. Okay. If we look at the pricing tables, you'll see package 4. Is it package 4 I did it with? No, right here, package 3. If you buy package 3 at a minimum, I'm going to do what's called competitor blocking. All right. Okay. Well, Ryan, what's competitor blocking? Let's click plan features. Tell me what competitive blocking is. That's going to take us to this page right here, and you can expand competitor blocking. Prevent your competitors from being displayed within the similar listings area of your listing. Really cool stuff, right? So to make that happen, we need to go into the listing type, and we need to list the packages here, okay? So we're saying if they purchase any of these packages, we're going to hide those listings, all right? So to get those product IDs, you go to your products. And remember, I said you have to purchase at least package 3 at a minimum. So we need package 3 and package 4 to allow it to unlock that. So what you do is you hover over your package name. So let's hover over package 3 in this case, and it gives you an ID. See, it gives you an ID of 193. All right, so we're just going to copy that. have too many tabs open. We're going to copy that. We're going to paste that in. We're going to do that same thing, separated by a comma, okay, for all of those 4 products. So we need package 3 and package 4. So let's grab package 4. We grab that. Now let's grab the annual version. So we need 200 and 201. So 200 and 201. So if they buy any of these packages, it's going to hide their competitors. All right, let's update that. And because the listing we're looking at here is using package 4, when I refresh the screen now, the competitors should be gone. There we go. Oh, no, it's still there. Why is that still there? This should not. Oh, because it's related. Okay. Yeah, it shouldn't be there though. Let's go to. Why is that not working? It might be something in. Let me make sure I'm double checking what I did here. Totally. All right, maybe these spaces in here doesn't work actually. So or maybe it needs spaces. In other words, what I'm saying could be caching too. A lot of fun. Yeah, that should not be listed there. So if you look on if I look on Canvas, it's actually gone. Huh. Yeah, that should definitely not be there because we are looking at this listing, which has package 4 assigned to it. Could be caching again. All right, that's going to bother me. That's going to bother me. Why is that not going away? Did I brain fart this? Yes, I've got it reversed. Okay, I've got it reversed. That's my bad. Okay, I'm going to fly through this. See, I do this stuff. I work on this stuff every day, and then there's this. Don't feel bad if you mess stuff up because I work on this every day, and sometimes. It's not very intuitive, right? They don't really, it's not very intuitive. They should make it, write it better, easier to understand. So instead we want to say, what did I put in there actually? Let's see. Yeah, okay. So we want to say 191, 192. I was going to say, I didn't think that it mattered if there wasn't a space, but we'll find out. 191, 192, and 198 and 199. So I apologize for that, for the brain fart there. All right, so let's save the changes there and see what we got. There we go. Okay, so again, apologies. Moral story. If they purchase, it's actually backwards. They've got this backwards compared to how you do listing paid listing package visibility for the fields. It's backwards. So here you specify what they don't purchase, whereas with the fields and the package priority, you purchase what they do need to purchase. So it's backwards. That's why I got that confused that time around. Anyway, got it going. No big deal. All right, so that's good. Next up is the preview cart, and I think we actually completely tackled this in a previous lesson. So let's just make sure we're using the alternate template. Background is image. We've got our price range in there. We've got our star ratings in there. We've got our terms. Yeah, that's all good. Let's now look at quick view, and give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Sorry, my better half is home and they're about to make some noise, so we're going to wrap this up soon anyway. All right, quick view. We are using the alternate template. We're using categories and categories there, so that's good. All right, now for the search form. We are going to fly through this a bit. Okay, so first up is our drop down. We're going to add a drop down for our nearest major city. So drop down field, we're going to change this to say nearest major city. And we're going to use the field nearest major city. We're going to order by name. We're going to order it by an ascending order. And we're not going to do multi-select. So we're going to disable enable multi-select. We're going to make them go through the hierarchy of choosing the top region and the sub-regions and get drilled down into the exact region to specify their exact city here, okay? Next up, we're going to do the location field. And I'm going to put a label on this of address, city, state, or zip. And right underneath this, if you want to use proximity, then you need to put it right underneath the location field. Okay, so we did that. We're going to change the units because we're in the United States in this particular case to miles. We're going to step by 1 mile at a time. We've got no minimum. We've got a maximum value of anything within 50 miles. You can do whatever you need to do there. And the default value of 10. Next up is features, aka tags. We've already got that set up there, so we're going to move on. Next up is the price range. And for that, we've got checkboxes. Okay, we've got our price range in there. We are not limiting the count. We're going to do, we're going to order by included order. The order options were added in the field listings. So what that means is if we look at the fields and we've got that price range, we're saying, hey, let's include it in the order that you populated that with. So here's the order, okay? Smallest to largest in terms of amount. All right, so we've got that in there. We're going to do ascending. We're going to allow them to select multiple prices to filter the ranges. Next up is office hours. Open now is what they call it here as far as the facet. And next up, we're going to do the search. So we're calling that keyword search. And I thought we did that already, but we did not. All right, so we're just going to put the general search box in here. We're going to call this keyword search. All right, I called this actually office hours. Price range, office hours, we've got our keyword search in there. And remember, we've got that add-on from the club, the enhanced, searching through the single listings, that keyword single listings add-on. That's a really key component too. Now they can search and find anything within the listing because of that add-on. Okay, so that is it for the advanced form. Moving over to the basic form, we're just going to do keyword search for this one. All right, so looking at our home page here, this will come into play here in a bit when we look at the global listing type. So that is what this is here, all right? That's the only thing we are worried about for the basic form. This is the basic form we are looking at. Okay, where were we? Listing order, we're gonna go top rated, and then the latest, and then random. I'm going to call this label top rated just to keep it capitalized on the letters there. And everything else, we can just go, we can go with the defaults until I think I undid this one, ignore listing property. I don't want to ignore the priority. I don't want to ignore the listing priority for this particular site. Let's see if I changed any of this stuff here. Nope, that's fine. And check random. All right, that's good. All right, explore tabs. I think we took care of all of this. We want categories actually to be listed first. We're going to order it by name, and we're going to do it in ascending order. And we are not going to hide empty tabs just because these are demos, and I want to show every single category there is, just so you can see what a website would look like filled up with data. Services we want to be second. And order by name and ascending. Again, we're not hiding empty stuff there. Sorry, I shouldn't say empty stuff, empty items. Filters. Next, and we've got our icon there. That is cool. All right. That is that. So we are done with our listing type at that point. Let's go ahead and refresh our listing on the front end. Just to quickly run through it. The claim button is not there because we are logged in as the admin. We own this listing. Otherwise, that claim would be up there. We are using, I've got a guide and a video on how to set up the custom tick box color. So that is already applied. That's how that's able to be blue. This all looks great. Little wonkiness here on the CSS. I don't know what that is. I mean, it's not really important because I showed you it's going to work. Anyway, we've got our media tab looks good. Our offers look good. Obviously, there will be more offers. Obviously, there'll be more media, more social media accounts in there. It's our store. Obviously, the reviews would show up in there. We've got our related listings, which may or may not be more. The offers button, because we set it up with that anchor text that I mentioned earlier, that's what allows us, no matter what tab we are in, clicking on that button is going to drop them into that offers tab. So that's how you do that. Oh, what else can I tell you? Yeah, like I said, this form is really bothering me, but that is the Elementor form there. We've got our tooltips up here. Oh, yes, there's more. Okay, so website will open in a new tab. Call, we'll bring up the call. We see this is special styling here, and we see this is bookmarked, so we see that it's saved. Shared, this is custom design here. Compare this to what MyListing does by default. It's night and day, so check that out. Nice hover effects there, cool design. Review, that comes up. Report, this is all designed nice. What else? What else can I tell you here? Oh, we need to look at the Explore page. Okay, so here is the categories. We don't have an image for arts and design. That's fine. You get the idea. These are the tabs that we set up together earlier. There's our advanced form. Nearest major city, then they drill down and they can choose at a fine grain level which city they're talking about. The location works. That has special design. This is all uniquely designed. Got our proximity in there. That's working good. We've got our tags, our price range, our office hours. Keyword search, again, because of the add-on from the club, you can literally search for any content within the listing here. We set up our quick view. I still need to address the styling on this border radius. I'll try to remember to fix that after this video. Listing comparison. Let's go ahead and reset all of our filters here. If we want to compare these two listings, you see how there's a nice styling on the border radius here. And again, and compare these items. This is all custom styled. Good stuff there. Okay, let's go back to the home page and look at the global listing type, and I will get you out of here. Okay, so how is this done right here? We are searching, we're saying here at this basic search form, watch the homepage video that I did for this. We're just using the global listing type because we want to be able to search across all of these very easily. So let's go into our global listing type. And let me pull that listing type up on my other screen. Okay, we'll really quickly run through this. There's not much you need to do through this one, okay? You don't have to worry about packages or anything. Well, most of the stuff you don't even need. One of the main things is make sure you set it as a global listing type, and then the fields. You need to include all of the fields that you want to be able to search through all of the other listing types. It needs to match, okay? I'm not gonna configure all of these because we did this in another video. So we're gonna do category, region, tags, our custom taxonomy, CT services, which is just services. We want to be able to search across our price range, wherever that is. Not seeing it right here. Price range, event date, and work hours. Event date. Where is that? Where is that? There it is, right here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and save this. Actually, let's don't save that yet. There's nothing you need to do. The global listing type isn't about outputting data on the front end, so you don't need to go into single page at all. We're not outputting anything. You don't need to worry about the design of the preview cards. It's just for search and filtering. But we do need to do the forms, so we're gonna quickly do this. It's the same exact ones as not the same exact, but very similar to the one we just did for experts. So what I'm going to actually do here is quickly drop these in. So again, we did a drop down, and we did it for nearest major city. We did the location, which was putting in the address, city, state, or zip. We did the proximity right underneath that. We did our categories drop down. We did our features drop down, which is our tags, also known as our tags. We did our services drop down. It's our custom taxonomy. We did price range. So that's going to be checkboxes for our price range. And then we did our open hours, office hours, open now. We just left that open now. We did our keyword search. Okay. So that is how you set it up exactly like the things that you need to search for, and just make sure that whatever you're trying to search for across all of your listing types, that you have this advanced search form set up for that. Now, with the global type, you can't search across. You can't use every single field. There's certain ones that qualify, and I have that in actually the listing types worksheet here. So the advanced form, I talk about that in here and what's possible. So check that out. All right, so that's that. So the basic search form is the key thing I wanted to show you here. So we're doing search by keyword and search by location. All right, and that's exactly what we see here. Okay, so now whatever I search through keyword here, using the MyListing Club's add-on for searching through keywords in single listings, this is now going to search across all listings for that keyword, regardless of what type of data it is. That's why that add-on is so powerful. And then anything you put in here for the location, it's going to search across all of those listings for that and find them. Okay, obviously these CTA links here would need to be updated. Currently, the expert one works because that's in there. All right, but we will tackle this in another lesson. Wrapping up all of the ads, I call them odds and ends. We're going to wrap all of this stuff up, make everything in here work, and cover this more in depth. Okay, but we've exported and imported listing types. I showed you how to do that. We configured our expert listing type, and we've got our global listing type set up. What I'm going to do after this video, so I don't spend any more of your time, is I'm going to import the global listing type in here and so we have that fully configured and ready to go. You've already seen how to do it. It's just a matter of filling in the data here. That's all it is. You're not gonna miss anything. Okay, let's quickly look here. We looked at the default logo, the default map marker. Again, we're going to look at all of this in more depth later when we look at the Explorer pages and finishing those and stuff like that. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit longer than than I meant for it to be, but it's important to cover all of this stuff and show you how all of this stuff is built. All right, catch you in the next lesson.